This is Brighter Rays, and we are studying the house of God, which we find in Genesis chapter 28, starting in verse 10. And we looked at the story of Jacob's ladder this week and all that happened there. So let's finish off with a few thoughts on this passage. I was looking at a guy named Octavius Winslow. I just love the guy's name, Octavius Winslow. It's kind of cool. But he wrote something that I thought was interesting. He said, "What an exceeding great and precious promise of our covenant God is here, intended for all saints, intended, my beloved, for you. Behold, I am with you and will keep you in all places where you go." What is the New Testament but the echo of the Old? Hear we not the echo of this promise in the words of Jesus, spoken to his disciples on the eve of his departure from them, when, like the patriarch, they were to be left as orphans in the world? "Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world." Take hold of this divine promise of your Lord, repeated with yet more earnest emphasis and given under yet more affecting circumstances than it was to Jacob. And Jehovah Jesus will make it good in your individual and daily experience. God in Christ is with you, his child, and he will keep you in all places where his providence leads you. No time or circumstance shall interpose to prevent its fulfillment. Now, as I studied on this passage, I came across the hymn called "O God of Bethel, by whose hand," which I know everyone knows that song. Probably no one. But it was written by Philip Doddridge. We know some of his hymns. But I don't think most people sing this one. "O God of Bethel, by whose hand?" Probably not. I don't see people remaking the song either, which they probably should. It's good lyrics. So let me read what he wrote in his poem here. Here's what it says. It says, "O God of Bethel, by whose hand thy people still are fed, who through this weary pilgrimage hast all our fathers led. Our vows, our prayers we now present before thy throne of grace. God of our fathers, be the God of their succeeding race. Through each perplexing path of life, our wandering footsteps guide. Give us each day our daily bread, and raiment fit provide. O spread thy covering wings around till all our wanderings cease, and at our Father's loved abode, our souls arrive in peace. Such blessings from thy gracious hand our humble prayers implore, and thou shalt be our chosen God and portion forevermore." So basically what Philip Doddridge there is took what happened to Jacob and made it our experience. That as we wander through this life, and sometimes we're orphans in this world, but God is always with us. Just like Jesus said, he's always with us. He never leave us nor forsake us. And all those blessings and promises that God gave to his people are upon you if you are a child of God. So that's a great encouragement. That is exactly what Jacob needed to hear while he was traveling through the wilderness. God knew what Jacob needed, and God came through for Jacob. And this will really, as God will remind him, is the beginning. This is the beginning of your journey, Jacob. Remember at Bethel where you set up the pillar. Remember that. That's where you started. And I was with you there at the very beginning, and I'll be with you till the very end. And it's interesting. I really was thinking about this. He said that he would not leave him until everything was fulfilled. When was it all fulfilled? That's the question, right? I guess in some sense it was fulfilled when he brought him back to Canaan. But in another sense, it was never really fulfilled. And so God has never left Jacob. And in one sense, maybe he'll never will be. Maybe not until heaven. But then God will never leave Jacob. God has never left Jacob. So, think about that. Think about the story of Jacob's ladder and just all the little connections there. And think about what God has done for Jacob. And then think about what he's done for you. And give him thanks. Give him thanks. Maybe you need to set up your own little pillar so you don't forget. Because we often do that. So sometimes we need to do those kind of things. We need little Post-it notes some places to remind us that, hey, God is with you, and He's promised to never leave you wherever you go. And He's your portion forever. So hopefully that encourages you this week. Remember the story as we continue to go through Jacob's life, because this is really the beginning point of that spiritual awakening in his heart, where the light diffused into the dungeon and began to break those chains off of him. So come back next time and we'll continue on in the story of Jacob's life.